Hello, this is Steve Colding from Chess for Children, where we make children smarter. And today's subject is how to beat the Ruy Lopez in under 15 moves. Today's game is Daniel M. Chevalez, expert, versus me. Okay, Steve Colding. Okay, and now we will look at the game. Okay, the first move is e4. e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop b5. Now we have the move order of the Ruy Lopez, and I always play a6, bishop a4, he chose not to exchange, and d6, and this is called the Steinitz deferred or neo-Steinitz. White has several moves. One is c4, another castles, another c3, and another bishop takes knight. Okay, so those are the alternatives, but white chose here to play d4. Okay, on d4 you play b5 and the bishop moves. This is one of the advantages of the Steinitz deferred, in the fact that you can chase the bishop away. And now we take the pawn. And knight takes pawn and pawn takes. Now this pawn is looking, and here we set up a trap. If queen takes d4, c5, queen d5, which attacks the rook and the bishop. Oh, black looks like he's in trouble, but he's really not. Bishop e6 attacks the queen, and when the queen checks, bishop goes back to d7. And when the queen comes back and threatens mate, black traps the bishop with c4. This is called the Noah's Ark Trap, and it's called the Noah's Ark Trap because it's one of the oldest traps in chess. The move that is most popular here is to play c2 to c3, and if black plays d4 takes c3, well then the draw occurs by queen d5, bishop to e6, queen c6, bishop d7, and queen back to d5. It's a repetition of moves, so this would be a draw. Okay, so white didn't play that move. He played bishop to d5, which of course attacks my rook. Okay, so I moved the rook. I had to. a7 is not quite as good. It looks a little worse here. And queen takes d4. And now I set up another trap with bishop on c8 to d7. You should always set traps for your opponent, just in case he's not as accurate as he should be. And here this proved the case. Now, the moves here, the usual moves are a4. The most popular is c2 to c3. Another one is e5. But if white plays knight on b to c3, he falls into the trap because of c6, bishop b5, c5, queen d5 threatening mate, and c4 again with the infamous Noah's Ark Trap. Okay, so we've set our opponent, if he plays the most natural move of developing the knight, he falls into the Noah's Ark Trap. So let's go back. So here he played the move queen d4, which wastes time. It's not as good a move, and white is now falling behind in development. I played knight on g to f6. Now in the Ruy Lopez is well known that the white square bishop is white's strongest piece, and so he's not eager to exchange it. So he moves back. I just continue with modest development. Before I start to attack, I like to make sure everything's in order. Castle, castle. And now white continues with his plan of not developing and plays c4. Okay, now this plan has been played, but only after a4, and this move I think is a mistake. White should have developed. He should have brought out a piece. So here at this point I played a move to take advantage of it, which is the move knight on f6 to g4. The point of knight on f6 to g4, it just looks like we moved the piece twice, but this has a serious point. And the point is, if white plays h2 to h3, I go knight g4, queen e2, I take the pawn, he takes, I take his bishop, he takes, and I play bishop b5, which skewers the queen to the rook, and so he's going to lose material. So that's the point of it. And white has a lot of good moves. Practically any developing move would do. Knight c3 being the idea, in the fact that he would be stopping anything coming from b5. But white again plays a non-developing move, which he probably thought was pretty good, which was f2 to f4. So now I played c6. Okay, and in c6, do you see the threat? The threat is to come to b6 and then play knight f2. In other words, if knight c3, I come queen b6 check, and then king h1, and then knight takes, and he has to take. He has to take, okay? Because if he doesn't take, if he plays king g1, of course I could take the queen, but I don't want the queen, and here we have another smothered mate. The beautiful smothered mate, which I would have played. Masters no smothered mate. Anyway, let's go back. So, to stop the queen b6 idea, he plays queen e2. Okay, now again he moved the queen again. Okay, so the queen has gone on many journeys, but in the meantime he's lost time. So now I know that a rule, and a very important rule, is that if you are ahead in development, you want the pieces, you want to open up the position. So I proceed to do that, because you want to open the position because your pieces will be able to do more. So b5 takes c4. Takes, and d5. This was pretty easy to find, because now my pieces come to life. They were all in the back, but now they're going to enjoy massive freedom. e4 takes d5, maybe not the best, and now I didn't play the best. I should play right here, bishop c5, king h1, and knight h2. Okay, and this gives me a material and decisive advantage. Of course, he can't take the knight at h2 because queen to h4 would be checkmate. Okay, so he would have to do queen h5, and now I would take knight f1, and he has to take this back because my knight on f1 is threatening to go to g3 and check and fork the king and the queen. So he plays he would play bishop f1, and then I would play c takes d5 with just the material and a good advantage. Okay, and just a couple of moves. With bishop on f1 to d3, I play f5, and now I'm threatening rook f6 to h6, which causes him a lot of problems. Okay, so he played queen e2 instead. Now, okay, I did all that, and he did that. But I didn't play bishop to c5. I didn't play bishop to c5. I just took back, thinking that I could do it anyway. But now he played bishop to d3. And if I play now knight to h2, he plays queen to h5. And although he does win the piece, with my f5, I'm again threatening rook to f6 to h6. He would have to play rook to f3, and that causes, why give him that chance? So I decided not to give him that chance and use my developing advantage to bring out more pieces. So, and in turn, if I play, he also has the chance of playing bishop takes h7 and queen c2 check, picking up my bishop on h5. On c5. So that's another threat. So I made a natural move, and I protected the bishop and stopping the mate. I played queen b6. Okay, and this protects my bishop, so now bishop h7 and queen c2 has no effect. And I'm getting ready to play knight f2 check, winning the exchange. So he played knight on b1 to c3, finally bringing out another piece. And now if I play knight f2 check, he just takes and then takes the pawn at d5, which would mean he would be down, but not that much. I might still be winning, but it gives him too much. So I decide to bring another piece in the game. It never hurts to bring another piece in the game. So I played rook on f to e8. Notice that all my pieces are developed, and his bishop and his a rook have no purpose in life. They might as well not be in the game. And so now he should play maybe queen d1 and queen c2, although I'm going to win the exchange and it's going to be a little difficult for him. He played queen f3. Okay, so now I checked. He played rook takes f2 and I played bishop takes f2. And now he should, now at this point I'm threatening rook e1. Okay, and he played bishop to d2. And now I played queen takes pawn. I'm just winning material left and right, attacking the rook, attacking the bishop. And now he should play queen d1. And now he should play queen d1. And when I play bishop g4, he should play queen c1, going into a losing endgame. Okay, queen takes, rook takes, and bishop e3. The ending is quite lost, and he has really no hope of survival here. So, but he didn't do that. When I played queen takes b2, he played rook on a to b1. Now I'm going to give you a second to look and see what you thought I did. Okay, stop the video. Okay, the move I played was queen on b2 takes d2. And this just wins the bishop, and he resigned here because he's a whole rook down, and I'm getting ready to play rook to e1 check. So the game is over. Of course, he can't play rook takes queen because rook to e1 check, bishop f1, rook takes is checkmate. So we hope you like that game. If you like that game, like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, subscribe, do whatever that good stuff is. And if you did like the game, leave us comments. Tell us what we can do better. We are always looking for input. And this is Steve Colding. Hope you enjoyed the game, and happy chess.